Good morning, everybody. Oh, that's loud. Good morning, good morning. Really loud. Good morning. Can someone please confirm that you can see me and hear me? And also, do we like the new background or is it corny? Good morning. Thank you, Linda. Let's start with a pick a pile. It's a Monday. Pick a number 1 or 2. Number 1 or 2. If you picked number 1, not everyone is your mirror. Sometimes the greatest lesson is witnessing the type of energy you'll never match, embody, or reflect. So not everyone is a reflection of you. Sometimes they're showing you what you don't want to be. And if you pick number 2, some people won't be able to love you the way you wanted them to. Compassion creates understanding. Someone may not be able to show up for you in the same way that you would be able to show up for them. Okay, let me go back to up a little bit. Message from guides for this next big step. Patience as certain things begin to mature in the plan. This would also make me think of like kind of like a vision board, like getting very clear about what you want to experience and see and being patient with yourself as it matures. With the Magician here, it's like you have all the tools to make this work, but don't get too ahead of yourself and psych yourself out. Patience as it unfolds. How is my brother's marriage? Is he truly happy? Is his wife faithful to him? Let's do him. Her. His wife faithful to him. Is he truly happy? It feels like almost like he's giving more than she's giving when it comes to like emotional availability or intellectual stimulation. There's like something that's not all the way a two-way street here. Almost like some immaturity in her energy or not showing up for him the same way he's showing up for her, again, either intellectually or like verbally, even like things being left unsaid. Is she faithful? I'm not seeing that she's not faithful, but it's more of like not putting in the same effort. I guess I could word it of him being maybe a little fearful of disinterest when it comes to like how she's feeling. Like she needs to re-spark it, I guess. Why does my daughter never come see us? I feel like she doesn't really see how it's affecting other people, and it just feels like not necessarily because you did anything, but more of like I'm busy and I'm not paying attention to like how much time is passing. Root chakra blockage, so a lack of being grounded. Shadow work on the bottom of the deck. So root chakra and shadow work. Almost like avoidance of being seen. Maybe an underlying reason that she's busybodying herself away from interacting. Like, I don't want to face these certain wounds. And if I see you, they're going to come to the surface because I'm going to feel supported. Excuse me. So I'm avoiding you because I don't want to deal with the wounds, but I don't want to deal with thinking about that either. So I'm not addressing it like that. I'm addressing it in busybodying myself away from interaction. Feels like just not recognizing how much time is going by and wanting to avoid emotions. What message do my guides have for me in the song? You're ending a certain cycle about doubting yourself when it comes to boundaries here. A boundary that you previously enacted is about to pay off in some way. It's like it's kind of giving like caterpillar getting the wings energy. It's like something that you put into motion previously is now going to almost like open up a different level of communication with another individual because you trust yourself to have proper boundaries, if that makes sense. Glorious by Macklemore is the song. Will Susie live past May? She's not improving. Will Susie live past May? The light going out and putting down a heavy burden. Patience. Maybe July, May, June, July. I feel like between May and July, there's going to be between May and July, I feel there's going to be some kind of like either decrease in health or like a word that's given like this treatment isn't working or like a final type of thing in between May and July. Will she live past May? I feel like it's kind of up in the air with the timing, but I feel like between May and July, things start to go in a drastically not good direction. Any messages for me or my sister? Or my sister from Spirit. This is the messages for whichever one of you is struggling to make some kind of final decision here. You're meant to be going in the opposite direction of something that feels demotivating. So if it's a person that like belittles you, or if it's something that you're pouring your energy and effort into that's draining you and not fulfilling you, it's like the final decision that one of you are trying to make is in the opposite direction of what's making you feel not like yourself. Never Alone by Jim Brickman and Lady A is the song. The final decision is in the opposite direction of what's making you feel misaligned from yourself. I don't know if that's for you or your sister, though. Whichever one of you is struggling to make that final decision. Queen of Cups. Whichever one of you is more emotional. What is my purpose in life? So upright, this is independence and it's in reverse. So this would be connecting with another person. This feels like one-on-one. This would be blocked communication. And then this would be coming up with like a safe place for them to talk or express. So it looks like your purpose in life has something to do with directly communicating with one other person or like a small group to help them unblock blocked communication by giving them a safe space to express. And that doesn't necessarily have to be a career. It could be like a hobby or a passion project, but essentially your soul is here to help people. How do I word that? See what it feels like to be in a safe space with communication around you so that they can then replicate that in their own life. My son, find a loving person to share his life. It feels like he's ready, but the person that he's going to be with is not yet ready. There's some kind of imbalance in that person's energy. It feels like there's a specific person he's going to be aligning with, and he's ready, but the other person is not yet ready. So if there's like a lull or a waiting period, it's probably so he can continue to pour into himself, because that will also help the other person pour into themselves if they're energetically connected. It feels like he's going towards someone specific, so he will find that person to share his life with, but the timing depends on this person not running from themselves, because the Hermit is the reverse right now. They're running from themselves because they're worried about, it feels like, getting hurt again. So they need time to heal, the other person. Any message from Uncle Jerry in a song? Feels like needing to take action on something that you were going with the flow, but the flow wasn't serving you. So there's a need to kind of put a cog in a wheel about something that was running away from you or with you. Healing from completing a cycle, something running away from you. It's like needing to change something in your day to day to get out of a flow that wasn't serving you, because you've completed some kind of cycle of healing, but now your external environment needs to match what's occurred internally. Stop second guessing and wondering what if you made the right decision. Oh, you made the right decision. Completing this cycle, you made the right decision. Now you just need to get your external environment to match your internal environment. I have a new understanding with the ripple effect. So you'll soon see the ripple effect externally of what you've accomplished internally. Fire and Rain by James Taylor is the song. Should I bother trying to get another pair of orthotics? It won't be quick progress, and it might not do what you think or what you want it or hope it will do. King of Wands in reverse, not taking action. I'm wondering if there's a different solution other than that. Another pair makes me think that you've tried this before and it didn't do what it needed to do. I feel like there's a better option. What is my message for the week? Something that doesn't work out is actually working out in your favor. So it's like something that it might not be this week. It may be like this week is building up to it, but something that you were planning on doing or experiencing, like something, there's either a change in plans or a canceling of plans or rescheduling or delay, but it's actually for your benefit. So it would be like if, for example, Plans get canceled, but if you would have went to the plans, there would have been something that caused like 2 weeks worth of stress that you didn't need to experience, type of thing. So whatever it is, you might not see what you're being protected from, but what doesn't work out is actually divine redirection here. Redirection is divine protection. Yeah, lack of commitment to something. Lack of commitment to something, so you don't get intertwined in some kind of imbalance that holds you back. So what doesn't work out for you is actually working out for you. My mom's health isn't good now. Will she be okay? No, I feel like there's something coming up. Either something like that you're expecting to improve, like if there's treatment for something and you're like, okay, now it should improve. It either that doesn't improve or something starts declining. Almost like let's say right now she's treating problem A. It almost feels like the treatment for problem A, I don't know, like it like makes worse problem B or something. Like it almost like whatever it is that's coming that's not good isn't the main problem. It's like a side problem that you're not expecting to be the main problem, but that ends up causing some kind of stress. So I feel like there is something that is going to have to be addressed coming up. 7 of Wands. 7 is July. I feel like by the end of the summer, I feel like there's something major that's going to have to be addressed. But not the main, it's like a side problem to the main problem. Any insight to my next job or career business move? My contract ends in June and I'm not returning. Also declined a job offer that's not good for me. Well, I do feel like you made the right decision declining the job offer. It almost feels like that would have blocked you from the offer that is going to be right for you. Any insight? It feels like there's somebody that you can be talking to that would help you get a foot in the door here. Almost like somebody has some kind of authority that would help you get your foot in the door. I almost feel like this is saying whatever the next move is one that's slightly outside of what you feel ready for. Like it feels like a step up of what you were previously doing. Yeah, you're completing a cycle. I almost want to say this is a step up in responsibility and finance, whatever the next move is, but it's going to require you almost like somebody helps you get your foot in the door somewhere, or this could be like a follow-up with whoever you interview with. Like if you kind of have a good connection with that person, something about communication helps you get a step up, like more than you expected. Does my Uncle Bill have a message for Misty? I feel like for you about Misty, I feel like Misty's feeling a little bit alone right now, a little bit secluded. Maybe like she doesn't have anyone to talk to. Feels like she can't trust to talk to anyone. So you're asking me this question, does Uncle Bill have a message for Misty? But I feel like Uncle Bill has a message for you about Misty, that Misty needs some kind of support right now, but doesn't know how to ask for it. Almost like Uncle Bill guided you to ask this so that you could know that Misty needs support, but doesn't know how to ask for it. Not because of anyone else. It's not that other people are making her not feel supported. It's just that she's like holding something in that she doesn't know how to express. And now it's like, I've been holding it in so long, I don't know how to take a leap of faith and talk about it. I feel like the message is more for you, that Misty needs support but doesn't know how to reach out. Please understand that it was my time to go, and time is a precious gift here on earth, and I'm happy for all the moments we shared. Almost like he's saying to let you know that it almost feels to her like she's like stuck in time because she doesn't know how to talk about what's emotionally affecting her. Any information about past lives? Poverty, military. Poverty, military, adventure. It's giving like a nurse energy. Oh, putting down a heavy burden. A nurse would put down a heavy burden. Going out to the world, spreading your magic, helping put down a heavy burden. It feels like this is saying taking care of soldiers or those wounded in battle. Adventure and poverty is like, I'm not doing this because I'm making a lot of money. I'm doing it out of the goodness of my heart. It feels like medicine woman that took care of either soldiers during war or like those escaping some kind of battle. Message from my guides. There's a need to bring your focus inward on your own routine or foundation or what you're putting your energy into. Almost like your guides are saying that there's been focus going externally that needs to be flipped internally because you're not seeing how it's weighing you down. This could be family issues. It's like focusing on something that was left unsaid or a lack of closure, but needing to shift focus back to you. There's a need to pour into you right now. Getting female energy for who your guide is. I have to sneeze. Hold on. Okay, maybe not. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Did I pause it? No. I'm getting heavy female energy for your guide. It feels like a great grandmother or someone who. It feels like someone who knows people in your family that are still living. That is a guide. So someone who lived at the same time as family members that are still living. Will my daughter's relationship with her partner be happy and long lasting? I feel like there's going to be some issues when it comes to imbalanced power dynamic. The partner is coming up as emotionally unavailable and a little bit of like escapism energy. Like when emotions get heavy, I distract myself or I avoid you or something like that. It feels like your daughter is the giver. Like I'm always giving, I'm always supporting. and I don't really get much back all the time, or maybe it's heading in that direction. Judgment is reversed, so I don't feel as though they're like locked in yet. Like there's a lot they're going to have to overcome in order to make it work. And it's going to depend on if your daughter's partner's willing to like meet her halfway and show up in support instead of avoidance. Message from my guides. Whatever it is that you're seeking clarity for, it's coming in. You're right now making space to understand it, or like making, like clearing the table so you can put the next course down, so to speak. So like there's something that you feel like you may be doing something wrong because you're not understanding, or you don't have the clarity. The clarity is coming. You're doing the right steps because you're making way for the clarity. Completion of a cycle. Walking away from something unfulfilling. The message is to spend this time learning your love language and giving that to yourself. That is how you make space for the clarity to come in. You need to see yourself from a higher perspective in order to understand what's coming in as clarity. Messages for me from past loved ones. This is a masculine energy, and the message is about you fighting with yourself in your own mind. This could be like a shoulda, coulda, woulda. Whatever it is, it's causing you to be drained and not all the way feel like yourself. Almost like half of your energy is going to this mental battle that you're being guided to give yourself some grace. Give yourself some grace because right now you're stuck in tension. This feels like a decision, like either when a loved one or a pet was alive, almost like kind of ruminating on something that happened back then. And you're being guided towards self-forgiveness. Spirit orbs, and now I have no pain. So spirit orbs, this person or animal is a guide of yours that's been showing up to try and comfort you through the battle. Who was I in past lives? Nature worship, secrets, swindler. This is good. It's funny because when I got this, I said this is kind of giving gypsy energy. Seeing things clearly, free, release. This is giving like nomad, gypsy, patience with yourself. That would go hand in hand with that card. It feels like you were someone, maybe like a medicine person or someone who was very connected to nature. This is kind of like giving me the energy of like living in tents and traveling with like a group. Yeah, traveling in a group. This would be travel. I guess I'd say it feels like gypsy or like maybe hippie type energy, like a very fun travels with a group. Does Leo have a message for the other dogs, Roxy, Buddy, and Coco? I'm wondering if Leo is also a dog because this message feels like it's from a dog. it feels like the message is to get along with one another. This is like stopping any kind of tension or sabotage. I need to be patient with one another. Yeah, it's giving like don't fight and be patient with one another type energy. Tears cleanse the soul. Oh, maybe be patient with healing. It could be that they're very affected and patient through healing. Trinkets, jewelry, ring, necklace, bracelet. I feel like that's confirming Leo's also a dog. As a collar. I feel like either patient with healing, as in the loss is affecting them and they need to be patient with themselves through healing, or patience with one another. Will I find any new health issues with my new test and doctor? Any new health issues? Any new health issues? Now, I don't know if I'd word this as new health issues, but maybe a different way to look at something that you already know about. So like, if you have this pain and you think it's this, it's like realizing that it actually relates to something else. So I guess it's not something new, but maybe something that's connected to something that you're already experiencing that helps make sense of it. I don't feel like it's something new in addition, though. It's more of like why something that you're already dealing with is the way it is, if that makes sense. Not something new, though. But I do feel like maybe this isn't the doctor that gets you a solution, but it feels like you're heading in the right direction. Don't know what to ask. What do they want me to know? You already took the right action here. This is like a new wave of energy that's coming in that's going to feel like calm passion as opposed to like jittery or anxiety ridden passion. I guess I'd word this as you laid the proper foundation to now build on, that you don't have to scramble to get the supplies, if that makes sense. Because you're seeing yourself more clearly now, and that's going to be represented in your external environment as clarity of the next steps, as opposed to feeling like scrambling for the next steps. Because whatever it was that you were giving too much of yourself to and not being fulfilled from, you cut the right cord or you put down the right burden. So now you have room to build in that spot that was previously taken up by the burden. How long should I do a detox for? Will that increase my chances of getting pregnant? May and within a year. May within a year. 7. I feel like 7 weeks is a good period of time. Will that help you get pregnant? Oh, yes. Yes, it will help you get pregnant. An offer of love and a literal pregnant woman. Yes. Will I find love within 5 years? Yes, I do feel like it's going to be closer to like the 3 to 5 year mark. I feel like there's still a bit of time. I feel like you're going to get an example of what love is not before you get an example of what it is. And then the love will come after you show you're unwilling to settle for less than what you deserve. Is Jordan cheating? Jordan cheating. Secrets, community, the sun, shining light on secrets within the community. Jordan. Jordan juggling multiple things that are going to lead towards a painful ending. Jordan's partner, which I'm assuming is you, something you don't know about that's not socially known or like known to the public. Secrets about a community that are being seen. To me, this looks like yes. Hermit in reverse. Against my better judgment. I would say at the very least, a line has been crossed. Any messages from my mom or spirit guide? There's a need to disengage from seeing yourself from the perspective of another person who doesn't see themselves clearly. There's a need to free yourself. You're strong enough to look at the shadows that are blocking you reframing your perspective on yourself. It's like there's some emotional avoidance, but that emotional avoidance also will set you free. Facing what you're emotionally avoiding will set you free. Time is a precious gift here on earth, and I'm happy for all the moments we shared, and something about a necklace or jewelry. Oh, I thought I just dropped that whole thing. The job interview tomorrow. Do I have a chance at this job and any advice for the interview? Job interview tomorrow. I feel like this is not the right job for you. And I feel like when you're there at the interview, you're going to know that. Walking away from something unfulfilling. I don't want to offer you what I have to offer. Taking back an offer. It's like a release of expectations. Like it's not what I expected it to be. It doesn't feel how I wanted it to feel. Justice in reverse. Some kind of imbalance. Magician in reverse. Deception. It's almost like whatever this job is, it's not being accurately represented to you. I don't think you're going to even want it. I feel like something better is coming for you. I don't feel like this is it. almost like it puts a lid on your potential, or it blocks you from some kind of more lucrative option. I don't feel like this is going to be the job you end up taking or wanting. Were Molly, Jill, Nicole, and Jody in an orphanage together in a past life, oldest to youngest? Oh, Victory. How many names did you say? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 lights. 4 lights shining down to Victory, not locked out in the cold. So orphanage would be taking in someone who would otherwise be locked out in the cold. I would say that looks like a strong possibility. 4 of Cups. I said 1, 2, 3, 4 because you said 4 names. I feel like that's a strong possibility. My husband has a job interview today. Will he get the job? Husband, job, energy between. It's confusing. Is it possible they could offer him something that's not the job he's applying for? Do you have an answer for the job? Is it yes, but something? Yes, but timing? Yes, but responsibility? Oh, it's timing. So there may be some kind of delay, like maybe he applies or interviews and then isn't offered it on the spot, or maybe it's either that or there's like a changing up of like, I apply for this and I end up getting this. I feel like yes, but it comes with some kind of caveat, like yes, but either timing or changing up of something. So if timing, it may be someone else getting it, not working out, and then him getting it, or it may just be a delay in them like onboarding him. Messages from my spirit guides. You're going to see soon how you can rebalance out. This feels like finances. It's like you've been waiting for an opportunity to change something, or I almost want to say like reinvest your energy, or maybe even reinvest funds in something. The opportunity is coming to you. This is waiting for your ships to sail in, and then this is the ship literally sailing in. You're going to soon see the opportunity to rebalance out what was currently stressing you out. It's going to require you to kind of be in the moment, though. It's like being as present as possible with conversations with other people, because there's like a clue or direction coming through someone else. Like if someone says something to you and you're like, oh, I didn't think of it that way, I can apply that to my situation, type of thing. Do some of these really quick. What is the energy of my stepdaughter towards me? Will things change? I've set boundaries. She has none. Energy between her. Energy of my stepdaughter towards me. Well, lack of camaraderie, feeling like we're going different ways or we don't value the same things. Death and rebirth is confusing there. Energy of my stepdaughter towards me. It feels like you trigger her And she knows that the triggering is coming from you, but that it's not intentional. Like you bring things to the surface that she doesn't want to deal with, but also doesn't necessarily blame you, but needs to convince herself that it's not her, which means that it has to be you. Very contradictory energy about how she feels, because it's almost like deep down, yeah, heavy burden. Deep down, she knows that why you trigger her is because of things unhealed within her, but she can't admit that to herself. So while she knows it's not you, she has to paint it that way in her mind. Energy between her and her dad. Energy between her and her dad, it feels like learned tolerance, like we learn how to appropriately walk on eggshells around each other and avoid whatever's going on that's deeper. Yeah, King of Pentacles reversed. Feels like there needs to be communication between the two of them, and there's not. There's like avoidance of deeper topics. Does Leo have a message for us and the other dogs? Oh, Leo is a dog. Okay. Oh, the other dogs that miss him. Okay, so it must have been patience with healing then, not patience with each other. Patience with healing. Will my GoFundMe for Raphael get more help? Something's keeping it from progressing. It eventually, yes, but something's preventing it from getting there. I'm almost wondering if this is one donator, like you end up getting one big donation, because 9 of Cups is a wish fulfillment. Something's holding it back right now, but eventually you end up getting the money that you need. But for some reason, I feel like this comes from one person. Maybe someone who's already donated donates again and it's big. Or maybe someone who already donated shares it with people and those people end up donating. It feels like it ends up going somewhere, but it's going to take a little bit of time. Was JH my soulmate? Soulmate, yes. Wheel of Fortune would be like a soul tie, especially with the star. But it feels like, so we have a knight and a queen. It feels like soulmate, yes, but meant to teach one another specific lessons, not necessarily meant to. I mean, yes, play an important role, but it feels like the main importance of the connection was certain lessons that each of you were getting from one another. So a soulmate, yes. Does my mother have a message for me or Brian? It feels like either, pick these up. It feels like either you or Brian. It's like each of you could use something that the other has right now, like support or clarity, like almost like the message is don't hesitate to pick one another up. Not that you're hesitating to do so, but one of you is doing better than the other, it feels, in some emotional regard. So it could be something as small as just like offering to hold space for the other person. It's like one of you needs that pick me up from the other. Queen of Wands. I feel like it's Brian that needs it from you. You have nothing to feel guilty about, and we have been together in dreams. Nothing to feel guilty about. I feel like Brian is struggling with some kind of coulda, shoulda, woulda, or guilt or something, and maybe just needs you to tell him that it's okay. Maybe something to that effect. Message from my guides about this weekend situation. Do I help in my house, help from a distance, or not at all? Do you help in your house? No. Help from a distance? Possibly. Or not at all. What's the difference? You're stuck. Okay. So from in the house, do I help in my house? No. It's going to throw you off balance. Almost like with the Page of Pentacles and Queen of Pentacles, it brings you into like a lower vibration because you're going from Queen to Page. So no. From a distance or not at all. You're conflicted. You're back and forth between them. It feels like if you're going to choose to help not at all, it needs to be a decision you make and that you don't look back. But I feel like you'll feel better helping from a distance, even though, how do I word this? It feels like you have done enough that if you decided to not help at all, it wouldn't be something that you're doing wrong. Like you wouldn't be wrong for choosing to not help at all because you've done enough. But I feel like you won't feel okay with that. So I feel like it's better for you if you help from a distance. But if you do choose to not help at all, it needs to be like, I'm making this decision and I'm not looking back for some reason. What were the orbs in the hotel room during the storm? Making my presence known, but not speaking. It feels like it's a spirit guide that was giving you a confirmation of something. So let's say you thought that you understood something a certain way, and in your mind you were like, okay, I wish I could have this confirmed. It, like that kind of thing, like the timing of it or what was happening around when you were seeing them. Something was a confirmation. It's like I couldn't tell you any other way, so I had to show myself to confirm. It feels like a spirit guide, not like a past loved one, like an angel type spirit guide. Oh no, I lost my place. Why does it do this? Will my clients come forward with the launch of my new website? Not as quickly as you'd like. There's a need for some kind of patience here when it comes to building up the community. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. It feels like there's something specific that would help you build the startup community. So I don't know if that's like a video call or something, like a giving back thing to get people noticing. It feels like there's like a jump start type thing that's needed. And also patience. Is the goal group in good alignment with my spiritual journey? Group. Spiritual journey. two opposing forces working together, and this is divine authority. So this would be the group, yes. And then this would be you, death and rebirth, and Four of Pentacles. Something within the group, or something that you learn from the group, or something that you learn from people within the group, helps you reestablish some kind of foundation. This could be a belief system, a mindset shift. It's like that quote that says, when the student is ready, the teacher appears, and when the student is really ready, the teacher disappears. That's this. So yes, almost like an Easter egg in a game. Like you're going to be able to expand in a way you didn't see coming. Any messages for me or my sister? There's some kind of communication that wants to come forth or needs to come forth so that progress forward can be made towards fulfillment. There's an important conversation to not hold back on. It doesn't feel like it's between the two of you, though. It feels like it's for one of you, not between the two of you. But whatever communication is being considered is more freeing than you would imagine it to be. It makes more of a difference than you imagine it to be. Not holding back on that communication. A message from my mother, missing her creative spirit as I prepare for my Kentucky Derby brunch. Kentucky Derby brunch. Let yourself have fun and enjoy it. There's some form of like subconscious self-sabotage that may kind of sweep in at some point. Yeah, this is like, let yourself have fun. I'm almost wondering if there's some bit of like you're missing her particularly extra today or different today. So the message is that she's there with you for this to have fun and to not let yourself get too in your head about certain things. Almost like don't let yourself feel guilty for having fun. Or maybe it's something said throughout the day that brings up some kind of triggering moment. Yeah, she's there with you to let yourself have fun. Almost like let today be a little different. I don't know what that means, but let yourself handle today a little bit differently. I am not dead. I am sorry. Please forgive me. It almost feels like she's been giving you some form of tough love. And something today clicks and makes sense about it somehow. Is what my sister told me about my mom's dog's passing true? Did my dad lie about how she passed? Is what my sister told me about my mom's dog's passing true? Is what the sister said. There's some kind of painful ending. I'm let in out of the cold, so I'm given some kind of information. Freedom of speech. Three of Pentacles, teamwork. I feel like, yes, it's true, and it's something she didn't want to tell you, but felt like she had to tell you. Or it could be, I have to tell someone. I would say yes, it's true. Did my dad lie about it? How she I don't know if I'd use the word lie, which is weird. It's more like omitting the truth, or getting away with reframing it in a way that's not as bad. I don't know. 10 of Cups doesn't give me direct lie energy, but this gives me cover up energy. I would say omitting the truth as much as possible, I guess, is how I'd word that. Does the problems I've had with my pineal gland since I was a kid connected to my spiritual awareness? This would be the connection to your higher self, like the 3 parts of self connected through the emotions. This would be kept in the darkness, and then this would be the throat chakra. So it feels like a challenge of expression to be overcome, so that through the how do I word this? Hold on. Through the breaking through of the blockages, you reconnect to the 3 levels of self. So it feels like it was a challenge put in place so that you could get the wisdom from overcoming it. So like problems with your pineal gland connected to your spiritual awareness. Yes, as a challenge to be overcome through expression, and through expression you reform the connection, like clearing out the pipe that connects your pineal gland to your awareness, so to speak. Is the one who came back around after working through their issues serious about our connection? That person. You. Energy between. Well, they've matured in what they want. They now have a better perspective about what they want. They've completed the previous cycle of energy, and now they have this solid blank foundation to build on. They see you as the prize, but how do I word this? They see you as the prize, but they don't know for sure that they're ready to step into the role of what they're saying they can step into, but they want to try. So do I know I can be what I'm telling you I can be? No, but I know I'm not who I was, and I know that I'm willing to try to be who I'm telling you I can be. So are they serious about our connection? I would say yes, but that doesn't mean that they're as ready as they're saying they are. They need to test out their readiness, but they are trying to be ready, if that makes sense. Mm. Do I have shortness of breath because of allergies? yes, and this right away, what stuck out to me is the pig in the air. So when pigs fly, but in reverse. So it's almost like, yeah, that's part of it, because that would be the kind of obvious thing that's causing some kind of issue. But Four of Cups is reversed and Judgment is reversed. So that's part of the issue, but not the whole issue. It could be that the allergies are like bothering something else. So it's technically because of the allergies, but not directly. I would say mainly from the allergies, yeah, but the allergies are bothering something else, but it feels like the something else that's bothered will also go away when the allergies go away. Will my son find a loving person to share his life? Oh. Yes, but it feels like the other person is not yet ready. The other person may have just gotten out of a commitment or are trying to heal from a past one. Yes, he is going to find someone, but I feel like it's going to be a little bit of time still. What do I need to focus on post-surgery for maximum healing? This to me feels like following doctor's orders to a T, which I'm sure that you're asking about maximum healing, so you're already going to do that anyway. This to me feels like some kind of movement or circulation. I don't know if that's like some kind of elevation or it's just like literal movement. It also feels like mental intellectual stimulation, not letting your mind get bored and letting that kind of get away with you or from you. Focusing on a routine, making sure that you're checking the boxes of, even when you don't feel like taking care of certain things, making sure you're still doing it. Consistency feels to be very important. It feels like there's high significance on keeping your brain not like doing a bunch of stuff when you're supposed to be resting, but like not letting yourself get frustrated with the healing process by keeping your brain entertained or stimulated in some way. And not rushing yourself. Almost feels like whatever time frame they give you, give yourself like an extra week on purpose, just to like really recalibrate the way you feel after healing. Just patience with yourself and following what they say, pretty much. Message for you, yes. There's some kind of communication coming in that you've been waiting for, but it doesn't feel like it's coming from the person you were waiting for it from. How do I word this? Like if you're waiting for a sign or you're waiting for like a thumbs up from your spirit team, it's like you're waiting for it from this person, but it comes in from over here. But something is going to start to make sense with what you've been waiting for. Yeah, that's the communication, and that's your higher self. Like your spirit team is finding a different way to communicate something to you because it's important in the next chapter moving forward. It's like to see where part of your light needs to be shown internally. Either shadow work, repressed memory, something to that effect. From a young age, I always felt like I was going to die at a young age. Is there a specific reason why? So not that it's going to happen. It's like a projection of a fear. Feels like a past life thing. See how she's like gripping the coin purse? Like, I don't want this to happen again. It feels like this is a past life, projection of a past life fear in which someone you trusted took your power away. I would say a projection of something that happened in the past life that, like the energy signature of early death is something that your consciousness knows because it experienced it and wasn't healed all the way. So it projects that as a fear. Who is the cat and why does he talk so much? He's a Siamese sparrow that my daughter adopted. He needed eye surgery. He's very talkative and wakes us up for attention. Oh boy. Who is the cat? So this is interesting because this upright would be public, but it's in reverse, so private. This upright would be private, but it's in reverse, so public. I almost want to word this as like a spirit that has unfinished business, like a familiar spirit, not like a scary or bad thing. Patience. I'm being patient with myself as I bring externally. So energy can't be destroyed, only transmute it from one form to another. It feels like this is energy that has to just be worked through. Yeah, it's a very interesting answer, not what I was expecting. A familiar spirit working through unfinished business is how I'd word that. Interesting. Go over here for a second. Message from Jackie. She just had her 43rd heavenly birthday. Love her dearly. The family messaged her so much. Her daughter is graduating this year. From Jackie. Well, this is about the daughter's graduation. Even though I can't be there in person, I'm still there. This feels like it kind of looked like a boat to me for a second. I don't know if that has any significance. Oh, this boat, even though I can't be there, it feels like there's going to be some kind of sign or like for her daughter, like a clear as day, that was from my mom thing. Probably at the graduation or around the time of the graduation. 7 of Pentacles, so maybe a little bit after it. It's almost like the message is to expect that there's going to be some kind of clear sign from her to her daughter that's letting her know how proud she is during the graduation, during or after, like around that time. Almost like she wanted to say it now so that when it happens, it's like, oh, it's clear that was me because I told you previously. Happiness lies within the memories we have created. Never forget. And when you find coins and you think of me, know that it is a sign. A sign. It might not be a literal coin, but there's going to be some kind of sign she's sending. Coming across the rainbow bridge to give you a sign for graduation. Let It Be by the Beatles is the song. Was my partner lying last night about not having another hidden phone, or was he telling me the truth? How do I want to word this? Let's do partner. Potential hidden phone. It's kind of giving, I learned my lesson, but I still want to have control. Like, let's say you caught me with this in the past. I know that answering you this way is going to make you suspicious, but I want you to be suspicious because I know that I don't have the extra thing. So there's no way you can catch me. And it's going to give me the control if you accuse me and then I'm right, if that makes sense. Do I think that there's another one? No. But almost like they don't mind you thinking that because if they know that there's no way for you to catch them in it, and then it gives them the control back. Is that? Yeah. Not a repeat of the past, I'd say. Not a repeat of the past, but like probably an unhealthy desire from the other person to have the upper hand to make up for something that happened in the past. Been struggling with hormone imbalance and meds are not working. Do I find a new doctor and will it get better? You find a new doctor. I would say yes to find a new doctor because this would be like higher knowledge, and then this would be getting around a barrier. So like I wasn't able, this doctor isn't looking at it from this way. The other doctor will have a higher perspective on a solution. Justice. The other doctor will have a higher perspective on a solution. Will it get better? The truth is that there's healing and release or relief coming from the other doctor. So can it get better? Yes. But there needs to be some kind of plan in place that's not being given to you by the current doctor. So a second opinion or something to that effect, I feel is necessary. Uh-oh. Message from my dad. I'm seeing like not like a to-do list, but like an itinerary, or like there's a need to get very clear and organized about what you want to experience next, because there's an opportunity to seize like that new path or a different path. But if there's too much distracting you or too much going on that you're not clear about what path you want to take, you might miss it. So the message is to get very almost like vision board, or like, I don't know, something to that effect. Like if you could write, instead of pictures, like a written down vision board is the image I'm getting. Because there's an opportunity to create some kind of change. But if you don't know what you want, you might miss it. Getting out of your own way to some effect, or getting out of your own head. I send you loving signs through nature. See the two wishing things? You have the opportunity to seize some, where are these cards? You have the opportunity to seize some kind of wish, but you need to know what you're wishing for to be able to identify the wish when you see it. If we couldn't see eye to eye, misunderstandings and arguments, don't worry, all is forgiven. And Medication by The Collection is playing. I feel like that's important. Not medication, but the song that's playing. Do I see a shadow figure in my bathroom the other night? If so, any idea who it is? Yes, not someone new. Some, like, one of the spirits that you've already seen. This would be the spirit coming down from heaven. This is like we already have a established connection. The Fool in Reverse, no one knew. Yes, you're picking up on a spirit that you're already familiar with. And with the Hierophant, it's nothing negative. Thank you to all my mods for being here. Is my current medication helping me or hindering me? I feel like something in the dosage. I don't know if you just had a dosing change and that's why you're not feeling great, or if it's just the dosage maybe started at the wrong dosage. But to this, in my mind, I said not necessarily the medicine, but the dosing of the medicine. And then we got Justice and Ace of Swords. So truth and something not balanced properly. Strength in reverse, there's an obstacle to overcome. Knight of Cups in reverse is taking something back. So like maybe reducing the amount a little bit or having that looked into. I don't think the medication itself is a problem. I think it may be the dosing to maybe look into. Song for Linda. Who You Are by Jessie J. I feel like I did a mediumship for you. Maybe is that what you're talking about? Maybe. And Midnight Train to Georgia by Gladys Knight and the Pips. Is Kev's CT scan results okay? I would go with there's going to be some kind of issue. This would be a heavy burden. This would be something that wasn't previously being seen. CT scan. If he had a different kind of scan, there may be an issue on this scan that is specific to like it couldn't be picked up in an X-ray, and that's why he's having the CT scan. It feels like it would be something like that, like something that wasn't previously seen that's seen now because of the type of testing. Yeah, something kept in private. I would say there's going to be something that's needing to be addressed. Will Tony P's CAT scan give hope that the tumor is operable? Wait, CT scan. Okay, no, that was different. Okay. I would say yes. Communicating the potential for stability. Hermit in reverse. I almost feel like people are not expecting there to be hope. Fresh start. I would say yes, there's going to be some kind of hope. Something that's like unexpected. So I don't know if that means like a glimmer of hope that then becomes bigger, or like we don't expect any hope and then we get this option. What are the chances I move within the year? Within the year. I almost want to word this as you end up having the option to and don't do it yet. There is movement in that direction, but I don't necessarily know if it's going to be by the end of the year. If it's not moving, then it's planning. Freedom. It feels like it's going in that direction, but I don't know if I'd necessarily say by the end of the year. But it almost feels like something goes slow and then picks up speed. Will I ever find my wedding ring again? What can I do to help me locate it? Will you ever find it? Let me word that as, is there something you could do to find it right now? Yes. It feels like it's somewhere that would be findable. It's not where you, obviously, it's not where you're expecting it to be, which if it was, you would have found it by now. What can you do to help you locate it? I want to word this as just keep retracing steps in areas that you haven't retraced yet, that you, it feels like it's somewhere that you've looked in the general area of. This is really catching my attention here, and that's like the solar plexus area. If you have children, I'd say maybe looking in or around children's their area or something to that effect. It's findable is what I'm getting. It's findable. Just somewhere that hasn't been looked directly yet. And either something about children, or that is the solar plexus. So maybe like a kitchen type area. Feels like it's findable though. Message for the week or a song. There's a little bit longer of something. There's like a little bit longer of a wait, or there's a little bit longer until the next step. There's additional pieces of the puzzle being brought to you that you didn't expect. So be patient with yourself. Almost like this feels kind of like a test, like you're being tested in some way, because an old version of you would have gotten frustrated with yourself if something didn't go according to plan, but you're getting the opportunity for something to not go according to plan and you not get frustrated at yourself so that you can get some kind of advancement. If something doesn't go according to plan or there's a delay, don't get frustrated with yourself for it. It's happening for you, not as a punishment. Are my spirit guides disappointed in me? Any messages or songs? No, no, no. They're not disappointed in you. This is like, you may feel separated from your guides right now because you may have this picture in your mind about what you perceive that you're doing wrong and how they wouldn't be okay with that. But this is like all they're focused on is helping you re-see your light here and make some kind of leap back towards happiness. So they're still supporting you. Are they disappointed in you? No. I guess I'd word it as what you're picking up on is maybe some self-disappointment and feeling like they must be disappointed too, even though they're seeing your situation from a higher perspective. So from their perspective, you're doing what you need to do to come into the understanding of how to handle the next step, but you're in the now moment, so you're not seeing that many steps ahead. So essentially the message is to learn what it is that you need to pour into yourself so you can start to perceive yourself from the way that they're perceiving you, which is that you're doing what you need to do to keep putting one foot in front of the other. Yeah, you're taking the appropriate action. Ethic by Justin Stone is the song. Gives me the feeling of like you're completely exhausting yourself trying to take care of everything right now and being very internally hard on yourself because of the exhaustion. So needing to recognize that part of the way you're feeling is because you're exhausted. You're running yourself very spread thin. It feels like trying to take care of everyone else. May I get a message from my guides? What is my next step? Pulling your energy inward and reinvesting your focus on yourself, because there's some kind of pivot in direction that's coming up. A pivot in direction where you're going to have the option to make something in your external environment upgrade like your internal environment has. For example, let's say you feel called to like look into something or research something. It's like that call is coming from inside because of healing. And then as you embark on that externally, it opens up a new hobby or a new purpose or something for you. So like there's some kind of soul calling that's coming, and it's going to have more of an impact than it may initially appear to have the potential to have. Expressing yourself differently in the world is what comes from that, ultimately. My brother has sold the mill that has been in my family for 4 generations and is the place of one of my brother's passing. Having a difficult time processing this. Any direction from dad or brothers? My brother has sold the mill that has been in my family. So I feel like you feel like it's not bothering him and he doesn't care, which I feel like was the right representation. But I do feel like at the same time, after, I don't want to word it like this, but I don't know how else to word it. It almost feels like to some extent he feels like he's being haunted for the decision because he didn't make the decision for the right reasons. Or if not for the right reasons, then maybe like wasn't so kind to you and your opinions about what he was going to do with it, something to that effect. So I do feel like it's the decision and the way in which the decision was made is affecting him now, whereas it wasn't before. I feel like that's important for you to know, because I feel like you're questioning if maybe like, are you overreacting or is there something else? It's not. It's also bothering the person who thought they weren't going to be bothered by it, is essentially the message. It's throwing something off balance for them. Almost like the message is to take the way that you're feeling and reinvest it in a different memorial type energy for them. Like, now that that's not the memorial, the creation of your own type of memorial of some, however you feel comfortable. It could just be like a place you go that you connect with them. It's like the message is essentially to reestablish the connection that place made you feel to them. Like create your own replica of that in your own life now that you don't have that place to go. I now have no pain and spirit orbs. It could be a garden, maybe. Garden and tree, maybe planting a tree or a garden or something. Essentially, like, the message is you'll feel better. You'll start to feel better if you take your power back by creating a different memorial for them now that memorial of sorts is no longer there, if that makes sense. Why did this move so much? Hold on one second. One second. I'm trying to see if there's anybody I didn't get to yet. Should I look for my new job in the district I'm in now or another district, company, or remote? District you're in now. Another district. Company. Remote. New job in the district I'm in now. No, not the one you're in now. It feels like you're feeling very run down and there's some kind of change that you want to happen that's not happening. And it feels like that change is not going to happen. Another district. It feels like it's going to be draining or exhausting getting started in another district. Another company. I don't think the company is necessarily the problem. I think if choosing between going to a different company or just transferring to a different district, I would choose the different district, same company. Remote is also an option. Both of these options feel exhausting, though. It just depends, like, pick your exhaustion. Remote feels like having to start from scratch, whereas another district feels like just the process being exhausting. Between the two, I would say try for another district first, and then maybe while you're doing that, look remotely as well. Feels like that is the best option. But whatever feels being a problem about your current place doesn't feel like the problem's going to change. A couple weeks ago, I asked you who I should suck up to at work. I immediately figured out who it was. What are Brittany's thoughts of me? I also got a slight promotion. Oh, that's awesome. What are her thoughts of you? This to me reads like, how do I word this? She may believe that you have fake people-pleasing tendencies, like telling people what you know that they need to hear, but looking 3 steps ahead type thing. Like, what's that word? Cunning. I feel like she views you as someone who's cunning. But I also feel like how she views you is a projection of what she tries to hide within herself and not actually about you. So I guess I'd word it as she sees a lot of potential for you to have the qualities that she views positively within herself, but there's also hesitancy of like, could you do it better than her type thing, if that makes sense. I guess if I had to word it up in one word, I'd say like, well, 2 words, hidden intimidation. Like she feels intimidated but wants to hide it. Should I write a children's book? Feels like that's something that would really excite you or motivate you. You'd get a lot of fulfillment out of it. It feels like this is either like the culmination of a dream you had when you were younger, or it's like something in the process of doing this would be very freeing for your inner child. Like, even if it's not a book geared towards like healing, it would be healing the process of writing it for you. So I feel like that would be a good idea. Quick message from spirit guides and a song. You're in the final battle of whatever it is that's been dark cloud over your head type thing. Yeah, your good karma is coming in. I would say there's a need to focus on where your energy is going and or focus on the quality of sleep that you're getting. It's like you're in the final stage of some kind of battle and you need all the energetic juice you can get, like from taking care of yourself. It's like the final push up some kind of mountain. Yeah, so you can see from a higher perspective. It feels like solar plexus chakra. So your inner child. Feels like you're going to get the opportunity soon to use your creativity in a different way. That can either be like art or it can be a creative solution. But you need to have all the energy from proper sleep, nutrition, hydration, so that you have the power to push up the last little bit of some kind of battle or mountain here. No More Tears by Jez Dior. I feel like this one's too. Heads Will Roll by the Yeah Yeah Yeahs. Advice on how to help my niece. Is it a wound I can help heal? Advice on how to help your niece. So there is a heavy burden here, but one that she doesn't feel like she can talk about. It's like, I don't feel like I have this safe space to communicate what I'm feeling internally. I'm suspended. I'm stuck in the air. That would be the niece. I feel like the best way to help her would be to figure out what she would view as a safe space to open up emotionally and help create that for her, whether that be like you or whether that be like a therapist or third party of some sort. It's like she needs to see how a safe space to express what she's holding back can be created for her. Solar plexus chakra and spiritual ego. It's almost like there's someone externally that's making her feel like what it is she needs to express can't be expressed. Almost like she's bad or wrong for talking about the feelings. And what she really needs is a way to reframe the way that that person made her view her emotions. Like she's viewing her own emotions as like bad or inconsiderate even of other people, like needing to reframe that somehow. Some kind of either talk therapy, art therapy, something to that effect. Any message from the elementals I'm writing about? Any message from the elementals I'm writing about? Something wants to be reframed, or something could benefit from being reframed, I guess I should say. This is like back to the drawing board. Shifting the way that something is being perceived so that it fits better into like a later part of the storyline. Healing the narrative. I would say something is going to require more details or more of a buildup or background of it to make sense in the storyline. And maybe that's not something you have to do right now, but just be aware of that it may unfold that way as you continue. Like something needs more details, description, or buildup so that it makes sense more later. I am meeting a guy in May. What I am sometimes unsure what this is or how he feels. What can we know about how he feels? It feels like maybe you're unsure about what it is or how he feels because he's unsure about what it is or how he feels. It feels like he's trying to be different or better than he was in previous relationships, but doesn't really know how to do that. I feel a little turned around, or I feel a little lost. And I feel like I can only really rely on myself. So I would say emotional bonding may feel slow or taking some time. And that's because this person feels like the only person they can really depend on is themselves. So it's like they're trying to figure out where you could fit into that. I would say when it comes to this person, it's not that you're competing with another party. It's that you're competing with their own solitude. Like for this person, it's like they have to be convinced that allowing you around them in their energy would be better than their own solitude, it feels. So that may be why you feel unsure, because it's almost like you're competing with this person's own self to see if they're ready to share their space with another person. So I would say they are still trying to figure out how ready they are for a commitment like that, or a commitment of any sort. Where am I? Will R and I be together eventually? I'm going to stay on about 10 more minutes, and I'm going to come on for another members live on Wednesday or Thursday, probably Wednesday. Will R and I be together eventually? For some time, yes. It feels like there's communication that leads to being on the same page, but then it feels like there's an eventual falling out as well. I guess I'd word it as it feels like you end up getting what you think you want and then realize that what you want has changed. The tall man that I've talked to on Saturday, will he be my partner? I'm seeing him more as like a catalyst, like this person reignited my spark and made me realize that I do want to be interested in somebody, type of thing. Yeah, I'm not seeing a commitment or a connection necessarily, not at this time at least, but it does feel like something in that interaction was an important catalyst, maybe to like push you to want to put yourself out there again or something like that. Will my boyfriend ever begin financially preparing for his funeral, for his future? It feels like you're inspiring him or guiding him to get out of his own head, to recognize that there's a need to do that. Yes and no. Will he ever begin financially preparing? It feels like he's going to start to financially prepare to what he views as preparation, but it might not be that effective. But it feels like he's going to try, but he may need a little bit extra guidance or support to make progress. It almost feels like something scares him, and that's what gets him to start to try. But then when he starts to try, he's not really making that much progress, and recognizes that he needs some kind of either additional knowledge or like an advisor or something. Um, Sorry, I lost my place. 1 second. How is my youngest daughter doing? I would say conflicted a little bit. It feels like there's some kind of situation where is seeing or has seen clearly either a situation, a mindset, or a person that wasn't trustworthy that she thought was trustworthy. And it feels like there's some feeling of defeat, but also like, okay, now I know, so I can make different decisions going forward type thing. So I guess I'd say has recently come to the realization that something needs to be looked at differently, and it was painful, but also freeing. And now she's changing a mindset shift because of what she learned externally. She's viewing something differently. What was my most recent past life and occupation? Oh, that was clear. Teacher, instruction. Huh? Instruction, teacher, wisdom keeper, wise person. Enlightened, master. Explorer, traveler, fisherman. Feels like some kind of traveling teacher or instructor. Death and rebirth in reverse, 9 of Cups. Feels like a spiritual teacher of sorts. Either a spiritual or religious type teacher. Some kind of teacher or instructor that traveled and had something to do with it feels like helping children decide which path to take, or helping young minds like determine a course. Oh, yeah, children. A traveling teacher of young people. Very high teacher energy though, like higher knowledge teacher. Gonna do 2 more and then I'm gonna hop off. I'm trying to see if I didn't get to anybody. One second. Yogi, 5+-year-old, I believe, is my father-in-law. We instantly fell in love with him. How can we help him with his purpose? Doesn't like being held, lays close. Is he cranky or happy? Tail always so wag. Oh, well, that's interesting. Yogi, a cat, father-in-law. Angel, releasing an angel. That could be a reincarnation. Magician on the bottom of the deck, a magical reincarnation. I would say that there's at least some energy held of the father-in-law in the animal. We instantly fell in love with him. How can we help him with his purpose? His purpose seems to be to heal through love. So just being in the energy of love, showing love, receiving love, that seems to be the unfinished business that's being wrapped up here. So just that, he doesn't like being held, lays close. That would make sense if he's learning how to be willing to accept and receive. It's a little still uncomfortable. So I would say just patience and continuing to just give space when needed and allow closeness when desired. Is he cranky or happy? I would say happy because things are starting to make sense. Like there's a deeper understanding of what's going on that's happening from his perspective now. I don't know if I would say healing is the word. Healing an internal perspective. Message from Chris. I swear something flipped over. It was so weird. I could have swore I saw that flip over and I thought it was death and rebirth. Chariot. So death and rebirth, I saw it, but I didn't see it. It feels like the message is that there is some kind of message in the 3D that's coming to you to let you know that he's still with you. Chariot's two opposing forces working together. So it's like almost like you're going to be receiving a message through another person that's from him, not directly from him, giving and receiving. There's a message coming to you that's going to answer a question that you had in your mind about him, and it's coming from another person, but you're going to know exactly what it is when it comes to you. Now I have no pain. And we are soulmates, which doesn't need to be romance. It can, but doesn't need to be. So whatever it is, the question that you've had in your heart about him, there's going to be an answer coming from another person. And the Chariot fell on the ground. That's two opposing forces working together. It's like he's dropping a message in through another party. I get a message from my spirit guides. I feel like I'm missing something. It feels like you're being made to feel like you're missing something so that you keep an eye out for something that's coming in. It's not that you're missing it. It's that it's not here yet, but you're being guided to be ready to receive it or understand it when it does come in. Yeah, it hasn't manifested yet. It feels like you're getting clarity on a different way to use a skill, talent, or ability that you have. Like almost like something that has been benched in your energy is now getting the chance to come back into the game type thing. Have you forgotten that you've survived every onslaught of darkness and fought through hell to get here? Something that was previously challenging, you're going to understand how it was meant to benefit you very soon. All right, I'm going to do one more and then I'm going to hop off. Should I get a nerve block for my foot or will it heal over time? Nerve block, heal. Is there another option? I feel like the nerve block, it's either that it would help temporarily and then stop helping and you need to get it again, or nerve block for my foot. So like if the nerves are blocked and it's not in pain, you may start walking better and then hence alleviating the pain. Like it may reteach you how to walk in a way that doesn't make the pain worse, but it doesn't feel like it lasts permanently. But if you don't do anything, I don't feel like it's going to get better. So I feel like there's something that needs to be done. But I don't know if it's necessarily the nerve block, because I feel like that's a temporary solution and there may be a potential more permanent solution that's not that. Yeah, this would be like lasting, so not lasting. I feel like something needs to happen. It's not going to just heal, it feels like, completely on its own. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to my mods. And sorry to anyone I didn't get to. I'll be back on either Wednesday or Thursday. And hopefully we'll have a true crime video tomorrow as well. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.